All right, so going to make a quick video and just kind of talk about what 3D printer you should buy. And we're going to just assume that you're buying a Bambu Lab printer because that's really the only printer right now that I particularly would endorse. And so that's all I'm going to talk about. If you decided on Bambu Lab and you're kind of figuring out which one to get, here's a quick down and dirty, a few easy tips. And basically, I believe it comes down to two things: how much money is in your budget to spend, and what you're going to try to accomplish. Now, both of those things don't always line up with each other because you may not have enough money to do all the things that you want to do, and that's okay. You just maybe need to start small and dream big as you go up. As you see behind me, I've got 3 Bambu Labs, and so you can buy the one that is in your budget and so just grow into it. So just let's look at affordability. If we're looking at just affordability, the lowest cost, how do I just get into 3D printing? I just don't think that you go wrong over here with the Bambu Lab A1 printer. It's a fabulous printer. It's a great workhorse. I've got those 2 back there that'll just sit there and print all day long. A really wonderful printer at a very good price point. That one is one that you can upgrade and put the AMS on there. That device that holds multiple colored spools if you want to do multiple colored printing. And it's a great tool. Now you can also look at maybe kind of, I don't have that showing here, but if you want to look at any of the P series, stepping up in price just a little bit, you look at that P1S. And that P1S is an older generation. There's obviously the predecessor that's already out, but it is a little bit more expensive. So if you're trying to stay down in that range by going to that P1S, that puts you into a spot where you're getting a little bit bigger print space, you're getting a little bit faster print. You do have a little bit more controlled environment because you have the case. So that works out really nice. So as you go up, obviously you get different and better features, but I'm just kind of focusing on the low end price range right now. And so if you kind of put yourself at where's just the bottom of the bucket, cheapest I can get out of, between that A1 and the P1S, that P1S does offer a bigger build space and faster print times. If having an enclosed case works better for you, especially if you have like young children around, you don't want people sticking their hands up and getting hurt or messing up your print, that P1S does have a lot of advantages outside of 3D printing characteristics, just kind of how it fits best in your home. Now, we talk about whether or not you want to get an AMS. All right. The AMS is amazing. It was a wonderful, my first Bambu Lab, there it is, where'd it go? X1 Carbon with the AMS, and it was a game changer for what I have used in the past, because I would be able to print in multiple colors. One of the things that I don't like about printing in multiple colors is it takes too long. Again, with the X1 Carbon, it takes extremely too long for multiple colors for most of the things that I want, and I end up just printing them in a solid white and painting them if I really want. There are some times where I choose the multiple colors, but just know that your print times and your waste increase dramatically. Now we can go into spending a couple of $1,000s and look at the H series, and they have fixed a lot of those problems. But again, if we're trying to stay around the $500 or less price range, that's going to put us back into the A1 and the P1S, and then it's just your choice of whether or not you want to spend that extra money for the AMS. It's fun. I don't know how else to tell you than it's super fun. If you think this is going to be your one and done, you're just going to get one printer, and that's probably where you're going to end up for quite a while, then you might choose to get the AMS now because you're going to get a discount by buying it as a bundle with the printer. If you go back in 1 week and try to buy it separately, that price will be higher. So if this is going to be, hey, I'm just going to get a one and done printer, I don't think I'll ever buy multiple printers, yeah, go ahead and get the ABS. So you have that opportunity to print in multiple colors because it is a great experience, and you can get some really cool prints. If you know that this is just going to be an entry-level one and somewhere soon down the road, you're going to upgrade and get one of the H series, well, you may choose to save that money and apply that to the H series. But you can't go wrong with AMS other than you spent money. So if you got the money to spend, it's a good spend. And then finally, I'm just going to talk about filament. There's a billion different thoughts on filament. I'm guessing that generally everyone will agree that PLA is a great starting point for beginners. It is probably the filament that has the least amount of frustrations that come with it. I think PLA and possibly PETG could be a good beginner's filament, but I know we've got more shrinkage on PETG. It is a different heat temperature, and there are more colors available, I feel like, in PLA, although PETG is catching up pretty quick. Affordability, PLA still is much less expensive. I mean, you can buy PLA now at Hobby Lobby for $14.99, and I've run as many tests as I can through several spools, and it performs really well. So there are some, downsides. PLA at times cannot be as strong as PETG if you're trying to make a functional part. And of course, there's a bunch of other filaments I might get into. I'm just kind of comparing between PLA and PETG. So I would say I start off with PLA. I get a color bundle so it can have some of my favorite colors. I would get white and black, and then I would get the favorite color of everyone that lives in my house, because when they want you to print something, they're going to ask you to print it in their favorite color. So that would be my starting point. And then as I come up with projects that may need that extra strength, then I think I would jump into a spool of PETG specifically for that project, and then your library or your stockpile will begin to increase. Okay, so if you got the money, buy the P1S with AMS combo and several spools of filament. If you buy them all together at the same time in Bambu Lab, it will give you a discount. Okay, if you buy the printer and then the very next day you go on and try to buy the AMS or even just filament, the costs are going to be a lot more because they give you a discount for bulking it all together. All right, well, that's a quick down and dirty on which which economy or low cost Bambu Lab printer is the best one and what fits your needs. So I hope you find one of them, you buy it, and I hope you fall in love with 3D printing.